All right, just a few quick things about Google Slides, which I think are really cool for us to think about using. So one thing that I find helpful is to be able to just kind of insert any kind of text. So if I take some kind of text and put it down here in this document, and I say, choose A, if I'm doing a build your own adventure type thing, what I then can do is I can highlight the text and press Command K or Control K. You can also just go to insert and click link, or there's a link button here even. But you can see slides in this presentation, so I can click here and I can actually choose that if they click on slide A, it's going to take them to slide 18, and that's then when they go here, they click that and it's going to land them here, and it allows the students to then do a build your own adventure. It allows them to use this to differentiate for them to actually get to particular things. So you could have on here, if you already understand this, or if you got all these questions right, click here and it'll take you to the next thing. So they don't have to keep working down through each layer of the slide. They can just skip ahead. That's pretty cool. The other thing I really like about slides is when you present, using presenter view particularly, you get this. I'm just going to pause that. That's the timer. But I want audience tools, and then just click to present. So start new. And so now there's this link up here. And what happens is if someone goes to that link and I would say my students here, they can then ask their questions and it will appear here for me as I'm presenting. And so rather than them interrupting me as I'm going, I'll see their questions come up here, and I can say, and I know if I'm going to answer that question already or if I need to stop and answer that question right now. And when I get it, I can actually click a button and stick it up on the screen. So for example, if I copy this link, and I'll show you, if I go to that link here, this is what the students get. And so you can ask a question, what is your name? Right, they can ask anonymously if they want. Okay, there you go, make sure I ask it correctly, and then they just click submit. And then if I go back to where I'm presenting and I find my presenter view, so here, that's my name. And so kids can like it as well. And then I can click present, and then that's going to come up in here. It's got the person who asked it. If it's anonymous, it'll just say anonymous. And I'll have the question. I can answer it, and then I can hide it and keep going with my presentation. That, I think, is really good for when we're actually presenting to students in class and trying to get through anything. Let's escape the presentation process. That I quite like a lot. In slides, I think it's very beneficial as a teacher to be able to have kids ask questions anonymously and all that kind of stuff. As always, tons of add-ons that are really cool. You can get diagrams and charts. Pear Deck is really great for, it's kind of like what I just showed you with the presentation link, but Pear Deck, you can ask quizzes and stuff on there and the kids answer it and it'll show you what their answers are and stuff. Slides randomizer I use in class for revision, and so I'll have a presentation that's got all these questions and stuff on it, and I can randomize the slides so that the kids get different questions at different times and they're not always the same. And these images and haiku decks, and you can do all kinds of stuff here. I particularly like to use slides for flashcards and things. One thing that teachers do forget though is slides is actually very versatile. So we often think of it as a presentation software, but you can actually think of it in lots of different ways. So using it as flashcards is one way. But if I go to page setup, I can actually use a custom setup. I can turn it into an A4 piece of paper and then use slides much like you would Microsoft Publisher to be able to create stuff, and actually have a whole extension activity on this page for you as well, where you can go and do a whole process of how to use Microsoft's Google Slides as to publish things and to actually get things all aligned correctly. You can do grid lines, all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't have to be this size. You can actually turn it into more like a book or anything like that. And so you can really easily use a build your own adventure type thing, and obviously just change this according to what you need. think that's it. Mostly the rest of it is very similar to everything else within Google. You can download it, you can email it. One thing I do like to get kids to do, actually, when I'm looking at downloads here, it's just reminded me, is that I like to get kids to create images that they could then print off or whatever, or that they could use on social media to promote things, and they can download it as a JPEG or a PNG, and it will just download the one slide that they're working on. So I can have kids collaborating in slides, all doing different kinds of imagery and stuff in here, and then they can download it, and I can make them create that shape and size to be the right size for a poster or anything like that. But I also, I like to use Canva for those types of things too, because Canva is amazing. But yeah, otherwise, just really thinking this is all very similar. Same kind of printing processes as you would for PowerPoint and stuff as well. You can have your notes next to it, all that kind of stuff. If you want to see your presenter notes, you just have to go to View and go down here to Show Speaker Notes, and this is where you would put your speaker notes. And of course, if I have speaker notes of random words, then when I go to present in Speaker View, they're also there for me in my speaker notes, as opposed to my audience tool, which I can continue or get rid of. So that's a few little things about using this, all kinds of stuff. This little button down here is your Explore button, and allows you just to change your layouts. You can search the internet from in here, so it's basically like doing a Google search. So if I want frog images, right, just search frogs. There's the web for frogs, or there's images for frogs. And if I want red ones, right, there we go, I've got red frogs, and then I can just add them straight in here really easily. The Explore function is really cool. Yeah, otherwise, just much the same. Diagrams, word art, all that kind of stuff. You can change how you view things, edit everything. If you particularly want to set up your own kind of theme and stuff, that's where you want your theme builder and those kinds of things. So you can actually look at that and change your theme and your master theme, your master slides. But yeah, so you can edit the theme there, change the background. Everything that you can do in PowerPoint, you can do here, plus a little bit more, really. So I hope that was helpful.